What's up, my Beardos and Weirdos? OneTopic here. Today we're jumping right into r/NuclearRevenge. I have really enjoyed going through this subreddit in the past, and it feels like revenge videos are the most popular in this channel, so I'm happy to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. We have 3 stories to go through today. The first one is about a student who gets hit with a pencil. Damages ensue. The second story is about a revenge from a high schooler where some crazy SWAT-style antics take place. And the third story is about someone stealing some shiz from a guy when he's 16 and how he gets his revenge. Alright, let's get started. Stab my leg with a pencil? Special Ed has a spot just for you. Edit, this was originally posted on r/ProRevenge, but I was told it should be here instead. Some context before we get into the nitty-gritty. I'm very short and innocent looking. A good student that has friends. So whenever I tell this story, the only way I can prove it is the scar on my leg and my second year friend. This took place in year 9. I go to a school where most kids are considered sophisticated. I get to school early, so we have free time in the morning to do whatever we really want. Me and a close friend, Zed, were playing around. He had his thirds out. Wait, 3DS? Oh. You gotta capitalize the DS. He had his 3DS out, and I propped up my feet on him because we do this all the time. That's when Ricky came along. More context. Ricky is a student who is a teacher's pet and has no grasp on the emotions of others and loved to snitch on mundane things. At one point, he had picked on my friend who is autistic and in special ed, and she's very paranoid about new people now. Next thing I know, there's a pencil digging into my left ankle. I scream and Zed pushed Ricky away. Blood started to seep and Ricky ran from the scene. The injury wasn't serious, but I honestly hated Ricky. He'd messed with most of my friends, and now he messed with me. Of course, I reported him to the head principal of the school, and lo and behold, there it was on cameras. Not to mention a couple of bystanders. But it didn't stop there. Oh, no. This a-hole had messed with the wrong person. I decided to also report it to the special ed teacher. We've known each other for a while, so talking to her wasn't abnormal. I told her everything and she listened closely and nodded when I told her the details. Next day, he wasn't in any of my classes. Or the day after that. 2 weeks go by and nobody has seen this kid. I talked to the special ed teacher and the topic of Ricky comes up. Apparently, he was placed in special ed. I'm not sure how special ed works, but apparently his teachers convinced the school that he was mentally unstable and had autism. And when he did this to a small and defenseless young man, everyone realized that Ricky was a danger. Seeing him have to be with the same kids he hated felt nice. Zed and I still joke about how awful it must have been for him to face the same kids he'd bullied every single day. Because, to this day, he's still in special ed. TLDR, a kid who hates special ed students stabs me with a pencil, so I get him sent to special ed for the rest of his school career. Edit number 2. No, this kid is not autistic. His parents did convince the school that he was without medical forms till year 11. I don't know if he's in school anymore. Our special ed is a separate building, and the old special ed teacher retired. That's how I got a lot of this information. OP! Taking some savage revenge on this guy. I really appreciate that. Special education isn't necessarily a punishment, but I do appreciate that he has to be around the students that he'd bullied. And hopefully this will help him develop as a person and really gain some empathy for those around him. I can't imagine going through life and having this little empathy for people, but good on you, OP, for trying to push that into him. Ricky sucks. Special ed's okay though, guys. Vintage revenge from a fed-up high schooler. Important, this isn't my story. My mom told this to me when referencing my shizzy science teacher. However, she had no part in it either. Also, I'm on mobile, and although this isn't super long, there is a TLDR at the bottom. This took place in the early 80s or late 70s. Now, the high school my mom, and all my siblings, went to, allowed senior prank day. Some examples of what some kids have done is released 1,000 crickets into the building, released 3 pigs, labeled 1, 2, and 4 into the building to cause panic. My grandpa let put an actual cow in the school, and last year, students left fish in the vents. I have no idea where all those animals came from, but I digress. So my mom's science teacher was awful. Everyone hated him, and he hated everyone. I'll add an update if my mom has any stories about any specific things he did. Now, back in the 70s, there was this show called SWATted, and I think you can see where this is going. A group of students were inspired and planned something for senior prank day. They dressed up in a SWAT team uniform, got rope, the whole 9 yards. Also, they figured out his schedule. They found out when he would go to the library and patrol it daily. Then comes D-Day. It was do or die for them. They came down from the roof with ropes. I have no idea how, but it was an old building. I think they removed some of the panels, but whatever. They did the normal SWAT team thing, but then they hog-tied the gosh darn teacher. I'm not sure what happened after that, but holy shiz. So needless to say, this teacher was traumatized. He didn't show for a month and a half. In this time, he filed a lawsuit because he ended up in a neck brace and, he was fused and hogtied. I assume he won, but my mom only heard about it through the grapevine, so yet again, I don't know. I'm sorry. However, even if he won the battle, the kids won the war. He never taught in town again, and I'm pretty sure he retired after that. From what I hear, he wasn't that old, so that sucks for him. TLDR, raging shiz rock of a teacher, gets traumatized by students who pretend to be the SWAT team and hogtie him. Never works in town again. Being a teacher is a tough job. They have to deal with marking papers late into their own evening. They have to deal with special events like dances and chaperoning students that only look for ways to mess over the teacher and get away with things they're not supposed to, which can put the teachers themselves in legal jeopardy. And then here come these students to torture the teacher even more. You're the worst. You're the problem. That's quite the prank, though. Back at a time when we could still prank. I wasn't around back then. Oh, that would have been fun to see, though. And, I mean, if he felt like the target was deserving of it, sure. Alright. I guess it's okay. Thanks for writing that, OP. Hope your mom gets some, high fives out of that one. Our third and final story, Steal My Shiz, I'll Ruin Your Life. March 29th, 2019. So, this is my first ever post on Reddit, and I hate typing, and I suck at it, so feel free to criticize all you want for improvement. True story. Okay, so for a little backstory, I've lived in the same small town all my life. I'm 16, and I have a lot of good/bad memories. A lot of good stories too, but I'll save those for another day. So, you could say I am having a rough childhood. Bullied in school, poverty, parents constantly fighting, homeless for a while, got jumped a few times, and even got shot once. But the worst of them all is when my mom passed away from pneumonia in her lungs last year. I was 15. I would do anything to have her back. Me and her were very, very close. So all this shiz that's happened to me happened for a reason, because I can tell you now, I'm not no bicha. Even if I don't win a fight or even get the life beaten out of me, which has happened, I will take it like a man. So everyone that knows me, I don't take no kind of shiz. I'm also very clever and smart, so I can pull some slick shiz sometimes. Story starts here. Okay, so this happened not too long ago, probably 3 to 4 months ago. So I'm pretty chill, so I don't really care who comes over to my house as long as you're chill too. No one has ever stolen anything from me or my house, and everyone was cool with me because I'm pretty funny, chill, and a nice guy. Until one day this kid came around. We'll call him Mac. So Mac is new in town and doesn't know much, but he moved in the house down the street, so I guess he noticed all the people coming over, or he smelt the weed, so he came knocking, and I answered, and he seemed pretty cool, so I let him in. We chilled, played some Xbox, and smoked for a few hours until Mac decides he wants to go home. So of course, my high butt didn't notice anything went missing until my best friend asked if he could hit my vape. I say sure, go to grab it, and sure enough, it was fusing gone. And I knew it was Mac because everyone else in the house I've known since elementary or was family, and I trusted them with my life. I also have really bad OCD, so I know where I put my shiz. But before I start to run down to his house, I check around to see if anything else was missing. Turned out he somehow managed to steal both my vapes, my pack of cigarettes, a lot of my weed, and my phone. Which I give him props for that because neither did me or my 3 friends notice it happened. So I practically flew out of the front door. I don't even know if I touched the yard. I think I cleared the bicha, but all I know is I ran fast to his house. I only knew where he lived because I saw him moving in while I was riding around on my bike. His house was only a block or 2 away, but I felt like I teleported there. I banged on his door like a fusing cop, and of course there was no answer, so I couldn't really do much. I wasn't going to call the cops. What am I supposed to do? Tell them he stole my weed and cigarettes? No, I'm 16 and I'm not kicking the door down because that's just dumb. So I walked home and started thinking of a brilliant plan. So it's the next day, and I walked down to his crib and knocked on the door. He answered, and I shiz you not, he looked like he was finna shiz himself. But he didn't say anything, and neither did I. I pretended like nothing happened. I asked him if he wanted to come over and chill, and he kinda hesitated, but he took the bait. So my friends and I already had a plan ready, and we all had our own parts. So first of all, we get him stoned as fuse. I ordered an ounce of moon rocks, well, which cost me a pretty penny, but it was completely worth it. So we chilled again and played more Xbox, almost all day, but made sure Matt kept hitting the bong until he could barely stay awake. He actually managed to smoke about 11 or so grams by himself. I only smoked like 3 grams though, because I didn't want to be too high for my plan. Matt kept falling asleep for little naps, then waking back up to smoke more. So my friends did little small pranks like cut chunks of his hair off and draw willies and shiz on his face. He actually woke up while I was drawing symbols on him, but he was so stoned he did not give a fuse. So I asked him if he wanted a beer and he said yes. So I go in the kitchen, grabbed a Bud Light and opened it and poured in a decent amount of dish soap. You'll see why I did this later. I hand him the beer and he just completely ignored the fact that it was already open and downed it. I did this a few times too. Our next move was to get Mac in public, which was fusing hard. His fat butt didn't want to go anywhere, because he was pretty fused up. We weren't though, we just pretended like we were so he didn't suspect anything. It literally took us like 10 to 20 minutes to convince him to come with us to town to show him around. We took him to the local Walmart in town and started playing Truth or Dare, which was a part of the plan. We dared him to go in and steal a candy bar. Now remember, he is drunk and high off his butt, he has shiz all over his face, and his hair is just completely messed up. He looked like a fusing crackhead. Max said yes without even thinking. What he didn't know is that our buddy was working up there at the time, and we told him to bust Mac. I kinda wish that the plan worked, but apparently he didn't even make it to the candy. All I heard is that he just passed the fuse out and shiz himself in dish soap. He was arrested for all kinds of shiz. I even heard he shiz on one of the officers, but I really don't even know, to be honest. We took the fuse off the second he went to the Walmart. He tried to stick it to us, but no one believed in Mac. The cops did come over, but we were little angels and didn't know anything. Till this day, I still don't know where Mac is, and I really don't care. He could be in jail for all I care. I never got my shiz back, but I really don't care. I actually ended up mowing Mac's parents' yard for some money, and I bought a new phone, and I got a badass vape with the money I got from them. End of story. I know I could have asked Mac's parents if my shiz was in there somewhere. I didn't want them to know I knew their piece of shiz son. Shiz, I probably shouldn't even be telling this story, but it was too good not to. Sorry if I misspelled anything. Like I said, I hate typing and I suck at it, but please criticize anything I could do better because I have a shiz ton more stories to tell. Please share, it would make my day. OP, this is a brutal story. It sounds like your neighbor definitely deserved it. I'm not sure if you got confirmation that he definitely stole everything. It could have been someone else, but I appreciate that you trusted everyone else enough to believe that they wouldn't ever do a thing like that. So, props to you for wanting to get revenge on this guy. Definitely over the top, but that is what a nuclear revenge story is. It's almost entirely completely over the top revenge that goes beyond anything that's even reasonable. And seems like that's what you went for. Thanks for writing that, OP. But your grammar, your spelling, everything made this incredibly hard to read. Anyways, thanks, OP. Alright, my Beardos and Weirdos, that was r/NuclearRevenge. 3 stories we went through today, and a lot of fun to go through. I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys. I don't know if you noticed, this is the 56th video that I've made. That's crazy. I can't believe I've gone this far, and we almost have 2,000 subscribers following along with these videos. I feel blessed, guys. This is amazing. Hey, comment below. Let me know what you want to see. I've already had some comments asking for r/malicious compliance, r/bad roommates, and those are definitely upcoming. The malicious compliance, I did make one of those. Feel free to check it out. Let me know if you want to see another. The r/bad roommates, I haven't delved into that subreddit yet, but I think that's going to be one of the next videos after some more revenge. Alright, my Beardos and Weirdos, we'll see you in the next video, where we take it one topic at a time. Ugh!